You know Disney. You know the challenges Disney has had. I mean, one after another. I feel like I catalog them every day here on the show. It's such a shame because this was a great company. And now it's trading around what? $91 a share. It used to be up around 200 just a few years ago. So it has been decimated in terms of the stock price, in terms of the valuation. And it's no surprise. Why? Because they keep coming out with things that people don't want to watch, with movies they don't want to see, with political agendas embedded in these movies that really irritate people. They have very long lines at their parks, and some of the rides aren't working. I mean, there's just a host of things. And so Disney has continued to face these challenges, and I don't think they're going to really have an easy way out of this. The CEO, Bob Iger, whom Elon Musk completely hates. I'm wondering if we have that sound, because it's always just fun to say. We'll see. Hey, Drew will let me know. If we've got the sound, we'll play it for you. If not, another day. But Elon totally tore into Bob Iger. And now there's another guy that's tearing into Bob Iger. That would be Nelson Peltz. Nelson Peltz runs something called Triad. It's a big, asset management, for himself. He's an investor. And he's looking at companies that he thinks can do better. And one of them is Disney. And so he nominated himself to the board. He's really, really angry with Bob Iger. He's like, buddy, you're underperforming the S&P. Like, the S&P's here and you're here. So this is not good. And he's got a plan, he says, to actually try and change the company pretty dramatically. I'd like to see Nelson Peltz outline it. He thinks there's huge potential, right? Huge potential. So he goes on CNBC and he's like, listen, guys, we can actually do something here with this company. I mean, good luck. I mean, he's going to actually try and get everybody's buy-in, and most recently the board wouldn't allow him to name some new directors. But if we have the sound, let's go and watch Nelson Peltz here say there is promise for this company, but they got to make a ton of change, and Bob Iger and the rest of the management team, they're not doing their jobs.
That's the problem here, Jim. This company is just not being run properly. The board oversight is awful. It really is. The park, as I said, certain rides were great, but you can see it's getting a bit long in the tooth. They need more capital invested. They need more capital invested now because the competition is getting keener. You've got Comcast opening 500 acres right down the road in 2 years with a brand new park. They're also opening parks in Chicago, opening a park in Texas, not Chicago, Las Vegas. And this is where all the value today in the stock price resides.
So what do you think? I mean, look, I hate to bet against Disney. I love Nelson and what he's doing. He actually is more on the right side of things than the left side of things. And that's important. We talk about diversity. It's one thing to have diversity in a physical sense. It's another thing to have diversity in a opinion sense. So he's coming at this with a very different line of thinking. And part of Disney's problem is it's gotten away from what the average customer, the average person really wants, much like Bud Light was doing. And so these companies, they got to pull it together. They got to actually figure out what works.